Are you gonna work this time? Are we working? Did YouTube work this time? Man, I hope so. So did you guys catch that awesome 30-second stream that I just made? Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, for some reason, I guess the YouTube gods were not smiling on me this afternoon. It is afternoon anyway. Welcome back. I hope everybody is doing great. I know that I'm doing pretty well. What is this? Day 37, day 493 of quarantine? I don't know. We're still in quarantine. We're still locked down. Doing my little quarantine dance because we're in quarantine. Oh my gosh. I am kind of sick of being home and not like seeing my friends, not hanging out with my running club, not collaborating with people in an office, but we're making it work. We're surviving. I hope everybody out there is surviving too. And not only surviving, but I have this giant German chocolate cake, which I think just means that it's chocolate cake with chocolate frosting and some coconut frosting on top. Maybe some coconut frosting in the middle too. I don't know. We're going to see how this thing goes. Oh. This thing just looked too decadent to pass up when I saw it in the store yesterday. So let's see what this thing looks like. Nice big slice of chocolate on chocolate on chocolate cake. Looks pretty good to me. So we'll save that for later and just dig in, see how this cake tastes. Oh my gosh, it's so much chocolate. Believe it or not, I think I am over my chocolate, overdoing it from Easter. So I'm back into the chocolate, back into enjoying it. Nice and super rich. Like any chocolate cake, it's good to have some milk too. Actually, let's keep this close on hand. So I'm wondering how everybody out there is handling the quarantine. Are you guys surviving? Are you able to keep your social ties, hang out with people? Who's getting outside, getting some sunshine, getting some fresh air? Like this morning, as usual, I went on my morning run. It was a pretty killer run. I was glad that the rain from this weekend seems to have let up. So it was nice and sunny, pretty mild temperatures. Just ran to one of my local tracks. Yeah, there's this track that's pretty near my house. It's right here. Did some track workouts. Where I was going 2 laps at a time, trying to hit a minute and a half per lap, so 3 minutes for a half mile. Did 8 efforts. Let's see what I looked like. I was wearing a heart rate monitor. Let's get rid of that pace. Yeah, I see my heart rate was all over the place. I think my max heart rate was up over 180 beats a minute. That first one looks like it was a little bit low. 167, 172. Oh man, must have been this last one where I just, 181 beats per minute. It's my heart rate. Total distance for it, just under 9 miles. Man, it was a pretty rough track workout. But it really does feel good to get out there and run fast, get some fresh air. Even if it's on a track and not the most scenic thing in the world, but it feels good to get out. All right, let's see who all we've got in the comments this afternoon. Thanks for joining me. We got AJAT, chocolate mousse maybe? Well, I don't know if you mean mousse like the food or mousse like the animal. But yeah, chocolate mousse. I don't know if chocolate mousse is something that you typically see on a German chocolate cake, but this thing definitely has plenty of chocolate on it.
Nice dollops of chocolate frosting. You guys know I can put away my chocolate frosting. Tuna Shogun says, remember the tuna fish sandwich. Yeah, man. All the power to you. Saskia asks, how old am I? Single? Yes, I am single. I'm 32 years old. Tuna Shogun, this German chocolate cake looks amazing. Oh my gosh, it is really, really good. Like a total sugar rush. You never stopped eating chocolate after Easter? I took a little bit of a break from chocolate after Easter. I gotta say, I've said in the past that chocolate is one of those foods that the flavor fatigue really hits you, like really hard, really quickly, way more than most other foods I've noticed. So if I eat too much chocolate, it just starts like tasting really bitter and unpalatable. Anna, you say back to work tomorrow. Yes, that's awesome. I've noticed that there's some talk of the economy and lots of shops opening back up. I know it's going by a state-by-state basis, but fingers crossed things will get better in the not too distant future. Maybe, I hope that we aren't doing this for another month, but, if we have to, then we have to. So today, if I can get my mouse to work, it's ridiculous. I've got this like multi-$1,000 computer set up, and I just have like a weenie janky little mouse. Probably cost, 99 cents at the dollar store or something, but it works. So, okay, so here we go. Today, I thought it would be cool to kind of reminisce about the times before we were all locked up inside. Now, if anybody's ever read like description beneath these videos, you'll see that I've got a couple of links to my Instagram, my Facebook accounts, which I don't post a whole lot on those anymore, but for a while, I was a competitive athlete. Back in 2016, I was on an obstacle course racing team, went all around the United States doing Spartan races. So I got to thinking like, man, doing those Spartan races is kind of fun. So I did a little bit of diving on YouTube and found this pretty cool video of the World Championships Spartan race back in, let me see if I can get out of the way of that video. This was 2019, which happens in October in Lake Tahoe. And I thought this was a cool video. Now they have a couple of professional female athletes listed at the front. I don't know if this is the female pros though, because like that's a big group, and I know that the females start their race at 7:45 a.m. That seems like it's a little bit bright to be 7:45 a.m. But I love these kinds of videos that showcase the obstacles of Spartan race. Now this is a Spartan Beast, which is supposed to be about a half marathon in length. Think 13 to 16 miles. So it's a lot of running. Oh my gosh, those monkey bars are so killer. These are not the monkey bars that you find at like a kid's park or something like that. Like, you see how far apart they are, and they go up and down. And the monkey bars are so giant, and they're usually wet, so they're super slippery. They'll roll around. Honestly, even though I'm a rock climber, like those monkey bars were some of the hardest obstacles that I ever did in Spartan races. Z-wall. This is a pretty easy obstacle. It's never super tough. But yeah, Lake Tahoe is really cold. Ooh, Bucket Brigade. Now, a couple of years ago, they made a change with the Bucket Brigade, which is really interesting. See, they pick up these buckets. They weigh about 75 pounds, maybe 60 to 75 pounds, and they're just full of gravel. Now, when I started doing Spartan racing, you had to fill up the bucket yourself, and they didn't have a top on it. And if you spilled any gravel, like if you came back with a bucket that wasn't completely full, you had to go do that again. It was super killer. Yeah, seeing the snow on the ground and remembering just how cold it was when I did the Spartan Championship back in 2016. Ooh, that guy missed his spear throw. So anytime you can't complete an obstacle, let's see how this guy does. Boom! Stuck it. So anytime you miss or fail an obstacle, you have to do 30 burpees, which just super killer. Look at how windy it is. I can only imagine how cold these guys are. Like, I remember the year I did it, it was below freezing. Let's see what the rig looks like. That's a pretty weenie rig. Oh my gosh, those vertical ropes they're killer on the hands. They'll tear them up. So how many folks have ever done something like this? And how many people think they could do something like this? Oh, that's an interesting technique to go over the rope like that. Anytime I did a Tyrolean, I would always hang upside down and drape my, kind of like cross my legs over the rope to hold me up. And oh my god, is he going to go in that water? Oh my god, I hope he doesn't. Just thinking about how freezing that water is. Oh my gosh. Instant ice cream headache. I am so glad that I'm here eating German chocolate cake instead of hanging over the water. Come on. This guy's got to make it. Is he going to make it? Oh my god. He made it and he still went in the water. Let me see that one more time. Okay, so I think this is called the ape hanger. Hits the bell and you still dunk in the water. That's cruel. So Lake Tahoe, beautiful skiing resort, and they close it, or they, build all these obstacles over the course of about a week. And everybody does this Spartan Race. And this is World Championships too, so this is the best of the best, like the strongest and the fastest guys. And I, for one, can't wait until I can get back outside doing this kind of stuff. Oh, that's funny. It must have been so cold that they wouldn't let people in the water under the dunk wall. What else do we have? Usually they stack a bunch of interesting obstacles way at the end. So let's scoot forward. What the heck is that? Interesting. She's got a very interesting technique to climb. Okay, that looks like a boring, easy obstacle. Another super boring, easy obstacle. Yada, yada, yada. Hey, that looks cool. Stairway to Sparta. Looks like it'd be fun to do. I think the biggest challenge with a lot of these obstacles is that they really wear away on your grip strength, on your hand strength. So they'll stack up a ton of obstacles way at the end of the race that require you to hang off of stuff for a long time. Just tears away at your grip strength. Herc hoist. That's another one that's super killer. I mean, those sandbags probably weigh about as much as that guy does. So he's got to get leverage on the gate to pull it up. Good to reminisce about things like that. Oh my gosh. I remember back when I was super awesome and I could do Spartan Race all the time. But no, I think they've gotten a little bit too expensive for me. I gotta catch up on this chat. Let's see, we got Johnny Styles. Hey, Steve the Rabbit, how are you? Hey, how's it going? Good to see you in the chat. Long-time subscriber. Always great to see your comments. I'm doing great. I'm doing especially great since I got a German chocolate cake right in front of me. Tuna Shogun says there are plenty of kinds of chocolate. There are many varieties of actual cocoa too. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to go wrong. I even like white chocolate, so that's how I am. Johnny say, hey, guys, please join me in prayer for the coronavirus scare to be over very soon. Absolutely. Tuna Shogun, you say, I use a hand shoe mousse It's something like you might be interested in if you were at your desk all the time, especially in dev work. It's a weird name, but oh, a mouse, a hand shoe mouse. It's a great mouse. Well, I mean, like I said, like these cheap little janky mice work pretty well for me. I don't need anything super fancy, as long as it works. Johnny Styles, you say, hey, are you guys able to see my comments? Yep, we see your comments. You're good. Tuna Shogun back. It's meant to help prevent wrist injury and carpal tunnel, etc. Yeah, it's never been a big problem with me. Produce, not pills. Good to see you in the chat. Welcome to the live stream. It's been a couple of days, so good to see you're back. You say never done and looks difficult. You know, honestly, I think that one thing that Spartan doesn't do super well is like their races are a lot more accessible than their marketing would let you on to believe. Like they always show just the most ripped, jacked athletes in their marketing campaigns and just make it look like it's the toughest thing in the world. When in actuality, like it's not that bad, you know. It's a bunch of grown-ups on a playground with some mud, and that's about it. You know, everybody's just there to have a good time. It's a lot less dangerous than I think a lot of people imagine, and especially in the like age group and the open waves that occur later in the day. Like that video that I was just showing, I think it was just the elite men and women in that video. And those people are amazing athletes, and they look absolutely fit and athletic. And if you do, check out my some of the photos on my Facebook page. You can see plenty of photos from years back of me looking great with my shirt off on Spartan courses. But yeah, like if you go back for the open waves, you got plenty of average Joe, you know, plenty of couch to 5K kind of athletes. And everybody's helping each other out over the obstacles, and it's really a lot more fun and a lot less hardcore than some of their marketing might lead you on to believe. Lulu, new name in the chat. You say, why would they hold this event at such a cold time of the year? Because that's part of the challenge. I mean, the more challenging, like, if it was easy, who really cares, you know? Anybody could do it. But the point is to make it, like, really challenging in different ways. And Spartan races, you know, they happen all times of the year, all months of the year. You can do it January, you can do it August, you can do it in October. But that's the World Championship, so that's the one that you like have to qualify to get into. To like, you have to go to one of the normal ones some other time of the year and place high enough to even qualify to sign up for that race. So it's the one where you see like the best of the best in it. Like I'm a pretty fit guy, I'm a pretty amazing athlete and all, but when I did the World Championships, if I remember right, I placed, I want to say 154th out of 225 male athletes. So like I wasn't even an asterisk on that roster. And you know, I'm the kind of guy who can like in order to qualify, I had to get top 5 in a local race, which means that I was doing pretty well. But yeah, Lake Tahoe, that's where all the really great athletes show up, and I became nothing. It was a big piece of humble pie, to be sure. AJAT, have you ever considered doing an all-berry challenge where you try to eat as many berries as you can with as many berry-based snacks, like pastries and candies? That would be pretty crazy. I think that'd be pretty cool. I'll have to put that on one on the roster, see if I can't make an interesting challenge out of that. Tuna Shogun, is that barbed wire WTF? Yeah, in fact it is, barbed wire. And I've got a nice scar on my back from my first Spartan race. Where I didn't stay quite low enough under the barbed wire. I think nowadays they don't use too much barbed wire. They use like an elastic band that you bounce up against. It doesn't hurt you or anything like that. Tuna Shogun, yay wild. Produce not pills, how much are they usually? If you're asking about the price for a Spartan race, they're pretty expensive. To go to Lake Tahoe to race the World Championships, I think it's like $250 just to sign up. And nowadays, even the cheapest ones are typically like $100, $120. You might be able to, like, you usually can find some coupon codes to knock that price down a little bit. But like back in 2016 when I was on a team, I got an annual pass, which just lets you sign up for as many races as you want. So I think I paid $800 or $900 for that. I did 16 races, I believe. But like nowadays, I just have no desire to do it. Like getting to the finish line isn't a huge challenge for me anymore. So I don't have the drive to go do it anymore. And the price is just pretty astronomical. You're talking $150, $200 per race. Tuna Shogun, all those obstacles are pricey. Yeah, you got it, man. Lulu asks, is this your cheat day? I think you can ask anyone in the comments. Daily live streams. I'm eating crazy stuff every day. So every day is a cheat day, right? I have eaten quite a bit of this chocolate cake. You see, I've made a pretty big dent. No way I'm going to be able to finish this entire thing. Eric Gunnarsson, thanks for coming into the chat. You ask, is it cake on the menu today? Absolutely, dude. German chocolate cake all the way. Now, I know you folks probably didn't expect to tune into this YouTube live stream to watch YouTube, but this is one of my favorite events. Before I did Spartan Race, I was big into triathlon, which is, you know, swimming a long distance, biking a long distance, and running a long distance. And speaking of cold races, if you thought that last one was cold, this one is absolutely insane. So this is a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike ride, and then it ends with a 26.2 mile run that goes up a mountain. It's the most extreme Ironman distance triathlon in the world. Pardon me. And it is called the Norseman Extreme Triathlon. Totally crazy. Now it starts at the dark hours in the morning, way before sunrise, where everybody gets on this boat, goes out to the middle of this fjord, 2.4 miles away from where they took off, and everybody jumps into this water. And this is absolutely frigid. Like, you're talking like low to mid 40s in the water, which anybody who's familiar with cold water swimming, like 45 degree air temperature is kind of like, oh, that's chilly. Like, you don't really want to be out in it too long. But 45 degrees in water is 10 times worse. It's horrible. Look at that, sunrise. So everybody jumps in the water, gun goes off, everybody starts swimming. Let's see if we can see people starting to come in. And people get out of the water. They are extremely, hypothermic. They're all stumbling around looking like they're drunk. Now, I've done a couple of Ironman distance triathlons before, but this is the kind of race that just makes me think, like, it's impossible. There's no way to do it. Holy crap, that guy did it in 48 minutes? Oh my goodness. He must be an awesome swimmer. Now, I always loved seeing all the bikes in triathlons. They're just some of the most beautiful machines. Each one of those bikes must have cost $5,000, $10,000. Like, they're just incredible pieces of equipment. And it is so fun to ride some of those bikes. They can get up going 25 miles an hour on the flats. It's a ton of fun. So here he is, biking. Yay! Lots of cool scenery. And this is in Norway. I can't remember the exact town it's in, but yeah, it's the middle of Norway. So just beautiful, beautiful panoramas. Lots of amazing scenery. And then, of course, you end every Ironman triathlon by running a marathon. If that wasn't enough, get off your bike. And if you're one of the first, I think, 50 athletes to reach a certain point in the marathon, then they point you up to this mountain where you have to run to the top. Here we go. Some views of running up a mountain. And this is just incredible. Like, this is the kind of event that I could never accomplish. And a lot of people like to ask, in an Ironman triathlon, one of the like questions that I get not too infrequently is how many days does it take to complete? No, it's 1 day. You get 1 day. You get out of that water, you change your clothes, you get on your bike, and you go. Like there's the clock doesn't stop. If you don't finish by midnight, you're done. You get pulled off the course. So it's pretty incredible. But I'm a little bit sad that, you know, I'm stuck at home. I'd love to do a little bit of traveling. I'm sure that you guys are probably aware. Some folks might be aware that I did have to cancel a couple of trips. I was planning on going to Chicago and to somewhere else that I cannot remember. Nebraska, maybe? For Major League Eating event? I can't remember where the Major League Eating event was. And then I had to cancel both trips because of this whole coronavirus thing. Blah, 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 blah. So, like, watching these videos on YouTube of incredible places is, like, my way of getting a fix. All right, we're coming up on a little under 30 minutes. So I got to get back to work pretty soon. But let's do a rundown, one last rundown of the comments. See how everybody's hanging in there. Tuna Shogun, barbed wire comment. Yeah, barbed wire. Eric Gunnarsson, is it in Norway? Yes, it is in Norway. They call it the Norseman Extreme Triathlon. And they have these really amazing t-shirts that, you know, anybody who's gets to the like cutoff point of the marathon soon enough and gets to run up the mountain gets a black Norseman t-shirt. Anybody who has to finish, you know, the slower way gets a white Norseman t-shirt, and they're iconic in triathlon community. Like if you see somebody wearing a black Norseman t-shirt, you know that they are incredible athletes. That and just incredibly tough. I mean, like I know a lot of people say that doing these long distance endurance events is like mostly mental, but I gotta tell you, this is pretty physical too. Like you gotta be pretty strong and have pretty good endurance to finish an Ironman triathlon. It's not all in your head. It is quite a psychological journey too. Let's see. AJAT, imagine if that's how they begin the Amazing Race, lol. Yeah. I think if you tried to do a mainstream race starting in the middle of a freezing lake, I don't know how well it would work. I think that race would end pretty quick. Everybody would drop out real quick. Lulu says, my fellow Brit, Leah Schutkever, I don't actually know how to pronounce her name. Leah. Amazing YouTuber and competitive eater, though. I know her channel. She does great stuff. Would give you a run for your money regarding power eating and her workout regimen. Check out her YouTube channel when you get a chance. Yeah, I know Leah. I think she's a bodybuilder and like a weightlifter, though. I'm more of an endurance athlete, so it's two completely different things. Yeah, I've got like decent wiry strength. You know, I can deadlift twice my weight, bench press about my body weight. So like I've got pretty good strength, but I know if folks who are like actual powerlifters could outdo me any day of the week. I'm sure I'd beat her in a 20-mile foot race. Memers. Which one do you excel at? The biking, the running, or the swimming? I am 100% better at running than either of the two other sports. I'm first and foremost a runner. When I set my personal best at a half Ironman distance, I'm so proud of this. Actually, I did an Ironman 70.3. I get to say that it's in less than 5 hours because it was in 4 hours, 59 minutes, and 53 seconds. So just like right under that 5-hour mark. But in that race, if I remember right, I was ranked about 250th on the bike and the swim. And I was ranked like 70th on the run, somewhere around there. And this was out of, I believe, 2,000 athletes. 1,500 to 2,000 athletes, somewhere around there. So I feel like I did pretty well in that race. But yeah, I'm way better at running than I am at swimming and biking. Corinne says, I'm not able to, you're not a chocolate person, but hello from France. Well, bonjour. Thank you for tuning in. It's always lovely to see your comments. I love to see that, I have that reach into Europe. I'm glad I'm able to, glad you're able to stay up this late and catch the live streams. Always good to see you. Nancy Chansey says, hi, Steve. Have you heard of the Barkley Marathons? Of course I've heard of the Barkley Marathons. Those things are insane. I saw recently there was a YouTube documentary of one of the guys who tried to compete in the Barkley Marathons. I think he only made it 3 laps, maybe 4 laps. But yeah, he wasn't able to complete. But for folks that aren't aware of the Barkley Marathons, it's the most crazy adventure race you could possibly imagine. Where like I'm not even going to try to describe it. Just if you want to see trail running and adventure racing in the most bizarre format and just like the most bizarre qualification standards just to sign up to start the race, you got to check out the Barkley Marathons. They're absolutely crazy. Yeah, I think Laz is an amazing character. I think everybody who's able to get there and do the Barkley Marathons just super incredible. That's another one of those races where I'm like, no thanks, I'll take a pass. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. I know I enjoyed my German chocolate cake. But it's coming to be that time where I got to get back to work. I hope you guys have a good day. Stay happy, stay hungry, stay healthy. Do what you can to get outside, too. I mean, it's always good to get a little bit of sunshine. And until next time, peace out, and I hope you guys have a good one. Stay healthy in this quarantine.